Okay, first topic is one of the elements of Paxo, which is conflict. So, quote explanation. This creates external conflict because Cadet and Anderson have been hunting Emmy down the whole novel out of revenge and hatred. This connects to the quote because Frank and Emmy are completely unaware of a danger closing in on them, just like how many Indigenous people face threats they've never invited or provoked, simply because of who they are or where they came from. The next topic is thematic, which is trust. The quote explanation. Frank is opening up to Emmy in a way he has never done with anyone before. He is admitting that he is scared, not of her, but of losing what they have built together. For someone like Frank, who has spent his whole life alone and self reliant, admitting that another person matters that much to him is a huge act of trust. It shows that trust for Frank is not just about believing in someone, it's about being vulnerable enough to say that you need them. Okay, next topic is text to connection. Quote explanation. I can connect this to my own experience of having a place that just feels like yours, somewhere that holds your memories and makes you feel grounded when everything else feels uncertain. Everyone has somewhere that feels more like home than anywhere else, whether it's a specific room, a neighborhood, or somewhere in nature. This connects to the quote because Frank is describing how the old barn is not just a building to him, it carries his whole story and sense of self inside its walls. When he feels lost or unsettled, being in that space brings him back to himself. It shows that home is not always a house or family. Sometimes it is a place that has witnessed who you are for long enough that just being there reminds you of your own roots. Okay, next topic, Indigenous lit theory. How do we behave as good relatives? Quote explanation. This connects to the quote because Roth is pointing out what Frank did for Emmy was not just kindness, it was a form of teaching that goes much deeper. He gave her access to the land, showed her how to move through it with respect, and in doing so, gave her an identity and sense of belonging she had never had before. In Indigenous ways of knowing, an identity. This is exactly what a good relative does. They do not just provide shelter or food, they pass on the knowledge and connection to the living world that allows a person to truly know who they are and where they belong. Okay, last topic, relevant cause material. Quote explanation. I can connect this to when we read An Indian's Father's Plea, and it was how his son was labeled a slow learner because of his Indian traditions and culture, and one of his friend's mother did not want in at her house just because he was Indian. This connects to the quote because Winnie was also having trouble in school, all because she knew how to fight. Since she was young, that's all she knew. Winnie also seemed to only have a bad attitude towards the boys.